Happy Mass Monday. I haven't done one of these in a little minute and a half. And it's going to be a little hit and miss for a while too with the packing and moving and all that. I'm starting to get a little agitated. My bedroom is such a mess because, you got to tear it apart to sort through it. And so there's just stuff everywhere. And I don't mind a little clutter, but this is like over the top clutter. So this is who made this thing? Baroness Vitamin C sheet mask. It smells like oranges. It smells yummy. So, don't know what to talk about. You guys say you like my stories, so I thought I'd tell you a story or two about when I got married and when my sister got married. We're both divorced now, but we're going back in the Wayback Machine. So I met my husband on a blind date, actually, or my ex-husband, but I met him on a blind date in the San Diego area. And then this was Vietnam years, and we dated a while, and he wanted to go in a certain field in the Army, and they didn't have an opening in it yet. And so then he was waiting, and then he gets his draft notice. So he calls the Air Force up and says, okay, I'll take whatever you got. He didn't particularly want to go to Vietnam, which he didn't. Well, we were stationed in Japan for 4 years, and he went in and out of Korea and Philippines and all those kind of places. And I think he went in and out of Vietnam a couple times, but wasn't stationed there. So anyway, so he went off to boot camp and training and all that. And my family moved up north of San Diego about 100-ish miles to, it's just south of Los Angeles. And I had just graduated high school. I was 17, started my first year of college. And then he came home on leave and proposed, and we decided to get married. And it was all kind of rush because he was being sent to Japan, and I couldn't go with him unless we were married. So I'm in the middle of my first year of college, or at the end of, I guess, my first year of college, finishing up finals and stuff. And we were getting married down in San Diego, where his family all was, and so on. My sister was down there. My parents weren't, but they, of course, could come down there. It's only 100 miles away. So I'm planning this wedding remotely. His mom helped a lot. And back in the day, I'll see if I can find a picture and show you. But the dresses were those big hoop skirty tiered lace things were the in thing. So I had this hoop skirty lace dress that I had bought, and I was too busy with finals and all that to practice walking in that big old hoop skirt. So you can tell where this is going to go. So the day or 2 days, like maybe a Friday, and we got married Saturday or something like that. It was just right before the wedding. I go down to San Diego, and then my dad had a heart attack, and so he was there, but I didn't want him to walk me down the aisle because his health was really bad. But I didn't want somebody else to walk me down the aisle because he was there. So what we decided was I would walk down by myself, and then he would stand up and give me away. That way he wouldn't have to be on his feet too long because he had just gotten out of the hospital. So I know you know where this is going. I start walking down the aisle in this big old hoop skirt that I hadn't practiced in. I get halfway down, and it catches up under my feet, and I go, and some guy reaches out from the aisle, catches me, puts me back on my feet, and I just keep walking. Almost every wedding I've ever been to or heard about has some like little almost disaster or disaster story. So, anyway, turned out okay. Nice wedding. And then I think we had a couple weeks together, and then he went to Japan, and then I joined him a few months later. And I loved being in Japan. We stayed there usually you only stay 2 years overseas and then they send you home to the States. But when our 2 years was up, they're like, oh yeah, you can go home to the States, to Minot, North Dakota. And I'm like, I don't know if y'all are from North Dakota. I don't want to insult you, but no. Don't like the cold. Wasn't going to North Dakota. So we extended and stayed in Japan another 2 years. So that was my crazy wedding story. Now I have one for my sister too. She got married just a couple months before I did. And her husband worked nights, and he was, well, soon to be husband. This was right before their wedding. He's riding home on his motorcycle in the middle of the night on the freeway, and somebody hits him, and he gets like road rash all down his behind, just gravel tore his behind up so he couldn't sit down. And his bike gets caught up under the car, and the guy's so drunk, he's just dragging this motorcycle with him, not even realizing it. So the police stop him, and they're just looking around for the body because he was like about a mile up the road with this motorcycle up under his car, and they're looking for the body. And meanwhile, my soon-to-be brother-in-law's laying in the freeway, a mile back. Luckily, there wasn't any traffic hardly because it was, 3 a.m. or something. So he survived and just had a little bit of trouble sitting down. And the funny part was he had kind of dealt with stutter in the past and had mostly overcome it, but when he got really nervous, he would stutter, and he swears this didn't happen, but we've got we didn't have video recordings back in those days, but an audio recording of it. He, when it gets to the part about my lawfully wedded wife, he stutters and he says, my lawfully bedded wife. And we're all like laughing because we're like, yeah, we know where his mind is. So that was their little wedding disaster. Do you have a wedding disaster? I have some friends that this is so sad. So they scrimped and saved and to go on this wonderful honeymoon to Hawaii. So the first day, the wife, brand new bride, first day of their honeymoon, she gets so sunburned that she can't stand for him to touch her in any way, and had to stay in like a darkened room in the hotel for, practically the whole week they were there. She couldn't go out in the sun, and yeah, they've still been married. They say sometimes it's like an old wives' tale that the worse the honeymoon is, the better the marriage is. Well, that was the case with them. They got a great marriage, but their honeymoon was terrible. I have some other friends that something similar happened to them. They get to Hawaii and a hurricane comes, and they couldn't leave their hotel room the whole time because this hurricane was on its way, and then they were and stuff. So yeah, marriage and honeymoons can be fraught with excitement, I guess, or potential for disaster. My son and daughter-in-law, the ones I live with now, my older son, they got married in this called Little Chapel in the Woods or something. It was on a women's university campus, but it was just near where we live, and it had this pretty little chapel. And they got married in July, and late August, that's when it was. And if you've ever been to Texas in late August, it gets super hot. And this little stone chapel, the AC goes out. And it was so miserable, hot, sweaty in there for that wedding. Luckily, the reception, we was just down a nice little pathway through a flower garden-y thing, and then there was like another building that the reception was at that had air conditioning. But I was like, do you have any wedding disaster stories? I know there's lots of wedding disaster stories. Nowadays they have them, it's all on America's Funniest Home Videos or whatever. It all gets caught on video. But back in those days, we're talking in the 60s. Well, for me and my sister, and when they get married in the 90s for my son, in the late 90s, you didn't really get videotaped too much back in those days. It was just all word of mouth of crazy things that happened at weddings. This smells really good. I love oranges. They don't love me so much anymore. I've got, it's too acidy on my stomach. At least orange juice. I can eat an orange once in a while, but like a big old glass of orange juice especially on an empty stomach, it's just too acidy. Alrighty, it's been 10 minutes. I think it says 15, but I got things to do. so you're only going to get 10 minutes of story time today. So, do you like story time? Would you like more story time? I'll tell you more another time. If there's something you want me to tell you about, I will. I've got no secrets. Oh, one other thing. I'm going to hold off for a little bit, make sure it stays there, but I reached 600. I think it's due to the fact that I have 2 collabs going, like both released on Saturday, and there's 2 giveaway for each one for me, and then most of the other ladies in the collabs I'm in, they're all doing giveaways. So follow all the playlists and things, and there's a bunch of chances to win giveaways. And because I reached 600, I'm going to wait a week or so and make sure it sticks. Right now, when I looked yesterday, I was 605. Took me forever to get there, but I'm there. I'm going to wait and make sure it sticks. And then I've got a big old box of stuff for my 600 subscriber giveaway. And then when it gets closer, it gets to May, the less you'll probably see of me, because I'll, be busy with packing and unpacking and moving and all that stuff. I'm going to try and I found this, one of you ladies turned me on to it. It's called freebie alerts, and it searches all the different, like those neighborhood apps and Facebook and all those kind of places for free stuff. And so I found some boxes that way, and the next thing I'm looking for is a recliner, because the way the house is set up now because I don't have any furniture other than my bedroom furniture, and so she's got it set up where she's got a recliner here and the TV's here, and then there's a couch that goes this way, a love seat, but you can't really watch TV from here. So I thought I would look for another recliner, and we could just be 2 old ladies sitting in our recliners watching TV. So I'm going to keep an eye on that freebie alert for a recliner and plunk it in there, so I've got some place to sit and watch TV. I won't, I've got TV in my room, so I won't always watch, because we probably don't have the same taste. And I don't watch TV here out in the living room much because, I don't know, they've got, the TV's right on the wall near the hallway that leads to my son's office in the daytime, so he's working, so I don't want to have the TV on and bother him, or at night, their bedroom, so I don't really have the TV on. I mean, I could turn it on and turn it really down low, but, I'm getting old people ears. I can't hear that well if it's turned down really low. So we'll see. It's all up in the air. So as of right now, the kids want me to move out no later than May 19th, preferably a little bit sooner, because they're leaving for Alaska on the 23rd, and before they leave, they want to get this carpet's just trash. The dogs have peed and puked on it, and I've spilled tea on it and tracked dirt on it, and it's just, it needs to go. So they want to get me out, new carpet in, and my grandson moved down to this room because he's moving down here before they leave. So it's all going to be like precise. So what may happen, because I'm not sure she'll have everything cleaned out by then, I may move my bedroom stuff in and then give her another week or 2, or help her or whatever to get the other room, the craft room, emptied out so I can move my craft stuff in, and those may happen 2 different times, which is okay. The main thing is to get, even if we don't, I don't know where we'd put this stuff, but if we get everything out of this bedroom, they could at least put the new carpet in, but all these boxes and stuff, we'll have to find someplace to put them. Maybe just in the living room or in the hallway or wherever. Just get stuff out of the bedroom so that it's all. I haven't moved in a really long time. When I was growing up, I moved every couple years, all the time. My dad wasn't in the military. People always ask that. Actually, he worked for Monkey Wards. Remember Montgomery Wards? And in retail, a lot of times to get advanced, you have to move. So we moved a lot. I was, believe it or not, horrendously shy because I was always the new kid. Okay, I did find more to chit chat about. So it's been 15 minutes. So be watching soon for my 600 subscriber giveaway. And got one more little story for you. I swore never again would I help somebody move. This was, gotta be pushing 30 years ago. But even then, I was, in my 40s. I had a friend she lived on a third floor apartment. And the way this apartment building was built, it was like there was apartments here and then you had to drive kind of under them to get to the rest of the apartments. And the truck we rented wouldn't fit under there. So we had to park it out on the street. Her apartment's clear at the back of the lot. So we had to carry every single thing down 3 flights of stairs and all the way across the parking lot out to the street. That was the most horrendous move ever. And it turned me off to moving. Now I've got big, strong son, big, strong grandson. I'll pack it, but they're moving it. I'm not doing it. So right now where I have, let's see if I can turn it around. Oops. I don't know if you can see, my bed has that pretty screen behind it. Well, my bed's going to be against a window, so got to figure out where to put that pretty screen. It may end up in the craft room kind of behind this chair where maybe it'll be my backdrop for my videos. What do you think? Would that be a good backdrop? I'm not sure if you could see that, but I didn't turn the camera around. I just turned you around. Alrighty, I gotta go. Got things to do. Leave me your wedding horror stories below. I think that was a kind of a fun topic. Let me know what you thought. We will see you all again real soon. And go back, and if you haven't, watch those 2 videos I uploaded Saturday for the collabs. One was a makeup collab and one was a gift exchange collab, and lots of probably between the two there's probably 15 or 20 giveaways going on. So go check them out. Don't you love this color? It's ombre. See, I'm starting to get out my spring stuff. I love this color by my face, and then it goes down to white at the bottom. And then I've got my polka dot leggings on. Forget where I got those, but every once in a while I'll wear my polka dot leggings. I dug out all my spring stuff and packed away my winter stuff because it's going to be 90 today. I feel sorry for some of you that are still struggling with snow. I'm sorry. Come to Texas. It's this whole week's going to be like high 80s, and then next week's going to be back down into the high 60s. Then the week after that, it's going to be back up into the high 80s. So we get a lot of in the springtime. Well, all year round, but particularly in the springtime, we get a lot of. One particular day, I think the high was going to be 89 and the low 40. So it was like almost a 50 points swing in one day. That happens. You can't just get up in the morning and see what the weather's going to be. You just got to keep layers around when you go to work. One time I went to work in a sleeveless top and came out and it was snowing. So you just got to keep stuff in your car or layer, bring a sweater to put over your back of your chair at work or whatever, because it doesn't change. The joke is, and I'm sure it's that way where some of you live too, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute and it'll change. That's the truth. Alrighty, gotta go. Love y'all. Happy Mask Monday.